Fort Campbell officials, they want the public to know that safety is a very high priority for them. They do a lot of training before they actually get out into the helicopters. Criminals are always looking for an easy target, and sometimes they work alone or in pairs of 2 or 3 or even more. The church has a very special connection to a lot of the children at Covenant School, including to 9-year-old shooting victim Evelyn Dickhouse. Hundreds of people have filled up Legislative Plaza, and you can actually look now. There hasn't been this many people here on Legislative Plaza this full since the 2020 rallies during the Black Lives Matter movement and when people came out for George Floyd. I'm feeling the breeze now. You know, this is pretty awesome. So what is it about this particular ride that you like so much? You can just see it rip through this community. You can see that it tore the roofs off of homes, damaged cars, blown out windows. I will say people that we spoke with today, they were very surprised that there wasn't a lot of wait times or traffic wasn't too bad, but now that it's in that evening time frame, things are starting to kind of get backed up traffic-wise. So I have this back here just to kind of show you just how strong that wind is and how fast it's picking up.
Jump in the shower and the blood starts flowing. Out on the streets, the traffic starts jumping. Full-time on the job from 9 to 5.
For Dee Dee, the legislation in Tennessee is enough to drive them crazy.
In 2023, it does feel like we're going back to the Stonewall days of the 60s.
As a 14-year drag veteran in Nashville, they've had some amazing opportunities.
I actually performed with Dolly Parton at TPAG, so I would no longer be able to do that because there's children under 18 there.
Declare pass by objection. Most reconsider table.
It's one of the many ways critics of the state's drag bill say is going to hurt Tennessee performers.
It's a bill that we feel is discriminatory towards us.
Supporters of the bill say they want to protect minors from sexual performances. So if passed, the bill would make it a crime for drag performers to perform for minors and in public spaces where they're present.
The law requires it to be harmful to minors, which has a constitutional definition, which has a sexual component and other things that none of the drag that I know has.
The bill is already affecting the livelihoods of drag performers. Dee Dee says she's already had to turn down a wedding.
There may be under 18-year-olds at the wedding, and even though it's a private event, it's in a public space.
Tennessee Pride Chamber President Brian Rosman and supporting businesses are asking the governor to veto the bill to not only protect an art form dating back years,
drag performers are heroes within the LGBTQ+ community,
but to protect the state's economy, since drag brunches and pride festivals bring in money to the state.
It's an economic opportunity, and that gets lost in a lot of these discussions.
Dee Dee is grateful to work in facilities 18 and up, but not every drag performer has the luxury.
It hurts me to think that their, income is going to be affected.
But says drag performers have dreams, and they'll never let anyone take those away.
So you always have to hold on to hope.
In Nashville, Aaron Cantrell, News Channel 5.
There's no reason for this to happen to anybody.
Jennifer O'Connell
I don't get it.
is fighting back tears for her friend Vishal Patel,
He called me trouble, I called him trouble.
describing him as one of the nicest people she's met, seeing his generosity in action when he would come across the street to her job.
If he was ever in our lobby and anybody was short, it didn't matter what it was, he gave it to him. I mean, he would give you the shirt off his back if you asked him.
I just heard a bunch of sirens and everything.
Patel was shot and killed Monday afternoon inside his store.
I just feel very sorry for the young man. I think it's a tragedy. I have a lot of sorrow in my heart for him.
Two 15-year-olds from Kentucky accused of the crime.
Two 15-year-olds?
Like Mason Hall.
What? Where, how did...
Many community members can't wrap their head around the crime, and surveillance footage released to News Channel 5 has them asking more questions. In the video, you see two people walk in, and Patel walks over to greet them. You can see them walk around the counter. Then police say 15-year-old Sean Davis pulls out a gun. We're choosing not to show you the gun going off, but the video ends with Davis firing multiple rounds, his alleged accomplice, 15-year-old DeMarcus Boyd, taken off, and Patel falling to the ground. The two were taken into custody a few hours later after police located the stolen vehicle they were in.
I want to know why.
Both teens have been charged with murder.
I think something has to change. something has to change, and it has to start from the bottom and work its way up.
In Nashville, Aaron Cantrell, News Channel 5. The Adventure All-Stars are getting ready for a major battle to take on the looming menace of Lunatron, an evil robot werewolf.
Becomes mayor of Gallatin and then tricks the town into doing something for his own nefarious ends. No surprise there, but fortunately our heroes are there to save the day.
One of those heroes, Samantha Fuquay.
Well, a superhero is somebody that saves the day.
In fact, Fuquay and all the special needs high school students in Sumner County are being depicted in the comic book as a superhero.
We were able to put each and every one of them into their own comic book with their own face, their own name, and their own assist devices, whether it be wheelchair, communication devices, or hearing aids. It's all included. And what better way to believe in yourself than to be the hero of your own story?
And all you guys up there are true heroes today.
Not only did these students come to life on paper, they got to participate in the superhero games too with fellow classmates.
This is awesome.
This is awesome. Whether it's general ed or special ed, to be able to get out here and just have fun on one day and get out of the classroom and play some games, it's a great experience for them.
Patty, that's your hair you picked out.
The comic books were a surprise to the students.
I'm right here in Lunatron.
Look, that's you.
Awesome.
You can't even hardly put it into words. It's a really good feeling.
And like all great stories, there's a lesson to be learned inside chaos at the courthouse. That it's our differences that make us all special. Reporting for News Channel 5, I'm Aaron Cantrell.